All right. All right. What's everybody doing? Got a little lag going, but that's all right. I got lots of tabs open here. Wondering if I can hear. Oh, we don't need background music. We can do that for another time. Well, today, now, if y'all were tuned into this morning's live stream, went a little south, but not actually out of the direction I was wanting to take it, because synchronicity being the way it is, and with everything that's going on, Thomas Sheridan just was tuned into the same thing I was, So without any further ado, we're going to restream Thomas Sheridan. Now, despite a few people being ill, well, how do I say it? Not in agreement with some people that I've followed for years, and other people that I just happen to be in contact with on other platforms and stuff. Now, I'm lagging pretty bad or something. Am I lagging? Am I lagging? Guys? Girls? Monkeys? Apes? Chipmunks? Kitty cats? Oh, my cat. Okay. Tina's down there. Tina want to come in. I might have to let her back out here in a minute if she starts making problems. I'm not lagging. My screen here is jumping around like crazy. Maybe I need to adjust. I know I've got a lot of tabs open, but they're not running or anything. I haven't been live in a month, and I had a subscription going, and I only did one video on it. That was what a waste of fucking money. I'm going performance. Let's switch over to Windows. Maybe that'll fix it. Oh, I'm still bouncing around here on my end. Oh, hey, Joey. I haven't heard from you, or I just haven't been checking Messenger. Now, Joey, do you know Thomas Sheridan, the Irish occultist, political activist? Now, if you don't, y'all are in for a treat. He's got something good to say. I think this might, if YouTube doesn't take it down, this speech right here from Thomas this morning is probably one of his, if not his best. But for current time situation and everything, while it's playing, I'm gonna have to let my cat back out. She's like fucking tearing my carpet up and shit. But I've got a lot of what I want to do here is drop the links that I just got so I can cut the lag out of my stream. Because I know it's the tabs that I got open. So let me, real quick, get those links to you guys in chat here. If it'll open up for me, it just, I got so many YouTube videos. I got pretty much my whole, all the good feed from Tina. Settle down. If it'll pull up, it just lags like crazy. When Restream lags the computer out. YouTube doesn't do this. We get these links, and then it depends on how it's going, how my stomach is. If I get hungry after this, we might do some gematria. I think we will do one gematria after this. If I can get the links here to pull up for me, I'll get those out to you guys, and you guys will have a good streamed videos after the show to check out from this morning, or for about an hour, about 2, maybe max 3 hours back. I know most of you got these subscriptions, but there's a few new ones that I know you guys don't have yet. They're putting out pretty good videos. HRC says AG, AG's controlled opposition. I mean, at one point in time, he might not have been, or have been, and then is not now. He's a very confusing individual concerning. I guess can't get my collections to pop up here. Maybe because the fucking font thing's on. Yeah, well, turn that off. Infiltrating the controlled opposition, man. Yeah. Well, I mean, we do what we got to do, Let me shit. Yeah, I got to turn all these extensions off. But that's new, so the system's not wanting to run with all these new extensions. Have you guys checked out the Microsoft? I've talked about this before, but the Microsoft browser, you're able to get extensions like I guess the coders implemented extensions for these browsers. No, I don't need sponsor. I don't need sponsor block on, but I do need the new. No, I don't. I don't need none of this on. What is really good is the tweets map. You guys are on Twitter, the Twitter for Edge, all the web archive ones, the YouTube ad blockers. Now I'm going to leave those on because those eliminate. I don't need PocketTube on. The PocketTube, your subscription manager, where you can load your channels that got deleted. I know some of you, and if you've saved your Google information, your channel information from your Google from your YouTube, you can. I haven't figured it out yet, but you can reload your subscriptions, your stuff back in your new YouTube channel through the PocketTube. There, they finally popped up. Okay. Oh, fuck. But the YouTube ad blocker, for those people that are streaming other YouTube videos or other, well, mainly YouTube. I guess it's just YouTube. Clean YouTube and YouTube ad blocker for your Microsoft extensions is absolutely is necessary. So let's get this. Okay, I don't need that one, but I need to select all, copy all. Let's see. Hold on. We'll take this one off. So how's everybody doing? It's Friday, you know. Okay, now we can copy it all, and you get the music too. Yeah, Tina, I'll get the whole sucker. Hold on. Yeah, I know. I stuck you in here. I know. Okay, so chat overlay, and we'll copy. Okay, guys. Paste. There's the show. There's the videos. There's Thomas Sheridan's. And so if you guys want to not watch through me, you could watch off the channel or whatever. But we're going to get Thomas up here. And those are all my recommended I could pull them back up here through my history if I have to, if we're going to cover any more stuff besides the gematria. But we're going to watch this, how to react. Let me close these tabs out that I got open here so shit don't lag. And old Thomas here, good old guy, man. I wish I could have a good talk with him somehow. I got him on Messenger, but I just never could. He's a busy man, you know. Everybody's trying to get his attention. So here we go. I gotta let the cat out. How to react, man. This is man, 30 minutes and 55 seconds of, and I'll turn unavailable captions are unavailable. Sorry guys, no captions. So man, this is what I was trying to get out this morning, guys. If you were tuned in, I deleted that stream because I ain't letting that shit happen no more. Okay. I'll speak my mind after Thomas is done, because this is what I wanted to get across to everybody this morning, and nobody really. There's some people like HRC and Stranger, some of your other guys, TR33. Gosh, there's a lot of you guys that understand get my point when I say stuff. And the opposite sex, not so much. Some of y'all females are really good. I really love you guys, but like, man, I'm having a hard time with some of these others, and it's just like they tell me, oh, get rid of your ego, get rid of your ego. I'm like, that's your ego. It's not my fucking ego. It's healthy to have an ego. Oh, so yeah, after this one, we'll watch Woodward's TV like yesterday's about ego. So okay, here we go.
I hope you're all keeping well as these developments continue on. This is like I said, the greatest education ever was the last 2 years, but the education continues. This will be put the kettle on because this will be a long one. So I wrote a book called The Anvil of the Psyche in 2013, I think. And you can read the entire book for free on Substack. I'll put a link below when the video is over. You can read the entire book there. But ultimately what that book was really about was teaching people how to react to the zeitgeist media. Okay, the media. And how popular culture in general. And it's a very different thing than how to react in your daily personal life. So if you have a falling out with someone or you have a relationship breaks up, that's a very different set of skills because it's emotionally connected and it's very powerful. And you're often fighting for your dignity or you're fighting for an injustice that you feel you had inside you with another person. That may not be true or, may not warrant or the behavior may warrant it as well, you don't know. But that's a very different set of skill sets than the ones you need to react to news on TV and mainstream media. At this point in the game, everything is news. Everything revolves around news. The whole thing, everything revolves around culture change. What we're experiencing is the Western version of the Chinese Communist Revolution, in that the revolution, the cultural Marxist, the Bolshevik Revolution, that basically the criminal cartel Bolshevik Revolution of today, that we call globalism, seeps its propaganda into every single aspect of popular culture. And that's why you have to learn these set of skill sets and how to react to these things, okay? Very different than how you react in your personal life and personal problems. This is a whole other set of skill sets. We'll talk about that now today. Now, the way. First of all, if you smoke weed, skunk, cannabis, if you inject yourself with fucking washing up liquid, that's none of my business. You go ahead and do that all you want. I'm not going to judge you. But I will continue to point out that there's certain things wrong with that, just like anything else. And people who use large amounts of weed, who are addicted to cannabis. Now, the difference, here's a question. The difference between someone who's addicted to cannabis and someone who's a user is that if you talk about the dangers of cannabis, the many, many dangers, including brain rot, which is the most obvious one, paranoia, extreme passive aggressiveness. If you point these things out to a regular weed smoker, they'll say things like, "Well, yeah, I know, but I'm taking it easy. It just helps me with I have pains or whatever, and this kind of thing, or it relaxes me at the after work." That's different. A cannabis addict will instantly attack you. A cannabis addict, upon you questioning the use of weed and skunk, will not have the cognitive ability to balance out the thing because of the cannabis gin demon inside them. They can't, the low-level entity that has entered them through the skunk. They can't react in any other way than to instantly attack on behalf of the entity inside them. And they will immediately attack. They'll immediately go on the attack because they're terrified that you're going to take their green crack away from them. And you're not. And you're going to be involved in passing laws. All they're just saying is, you can do whatever you want. I'm just telling you it's not good. Now, that's completely different than an alcoholic. If someone's an alcoholic, they'll say to you, look, you've got a look, Paddy, you got a fucking drink problem, and they go, yeah, no, you're absolutely right, you're right, yeah, that's But if you talk to a skunk addict and you say, skunk rots the brain and is addictive, you fucking animal, you fucking lowlife, I know what you fucking did, you ran off on your fucking first husband. That's exactly what. That's how they, or they come back with cannabis users don't beat people up out when the pubs close every night. As if everyone who drinks alcohol is involved in a pub fight every night. They instantly attack. They instantly, because they're terrified, and that's because they're serving a low-level base entity inside their skulls. Now, this is one of the reasons why the powers that be, the globalists, have been legalizing and decriminalizing weed everywhere. They want everyone not being able to cognitively process anything and instantly go on the attack. Now, one of the reasons I think they legalized all the weed is they're gonna put certain areas of the world in charge of growing weed and skunk and stuff like that. Just say some country like Afghanistan, just any country, but let's say for that case. And therefore, when skunk and weed supplies are cut off, all the cannabis addicts will want to destroy that country or whoever they've been told is behind it. And that's one of the reasons they want irrational people who can't think. And they've already got that with the majority, but they want it even worse. And the ones who don't smoke weed and aren't green crack cannabis skunk addicts, they use hysteria as a drug. Now, I'll give you an example, right? You go to your social media and talk to the people you know in your daily life, and I can bet you every single one of them who was wired up and fired up and obsessed with the Rona is not interested in the Rona anymore, but is interested exclusively now in Russia and Ukraine. They have jumped from one addiction to the next. The low-level, barely sentient NPCs, animals, performing seals, jump from the ones who, when the Black Lives Matter thing was gone, they took the knee and put a square up. The ones who, when in that the horrible murder of that woman in Ireland recently, started talking about how all men are guilty or need to change. They're the same ones who fell for the Rona narrative completely. They'll all have justice for Ukraine, stand with Ukraine, flash hashtags and Ukrainian flags on their social media now, like a switch. There's a switch from one to the other, because that mind is not capable of anything other than hysteria. It's not a fully sentient mind. They're not fully sentient. They have no inner monologue, most of them, and they are just what Pavlov called a bag of conditioned responses. That's all they can do. They're not fully human. You have to remember that. They're golems. When the Jews talk about the goyim with the beast without a soul, what they're talking about is people who don't have a full internal sentient nature to them. The golem. And you're dealing with that with many people in your lives, because, as the Hindus quite rightly point out, just like the Jews, there's more souls on this, there's more bodies on this earth, there's more cattle on this earth than there are souls to occupy them. I know that's an abomination to Christians to hear that, and to New Agers, but that's the fact of it, okay? And so what happens is these people cannot step back and say, hold on a fucking second, what's going on really here? And this is why they jump. You look at the journal.ie, any article now on COVID, there's about 4 or 5 comments, compared to the 50,000 there was a year and a half ago. Where are all those people all gone? Ukraine and Russia comments. And this is where they are now. So those of us who are sentient, and those of us who have an internal monologue, and those of us who got off smoking weed, we have the ability, we still can get whipped up into this stuff. And this video is aimed at us, those who can find themselves worried or whipped up into this stuff, okay? First of all, there's a golden rule, but it's not a hard and fast rule, that everything you see on the TV news is lies. It's mostly lies, or it's mostly very subjective, or it's mostly delivered without full context. But not all of it is lies. A lot of it is true by a matter of discourse and a matter of fact, the way things are. It just is is true. So don't assume that everything on the news is lies. When it comes to, like, for instance, you don't know what's really happening on the ground in the Ukraine unless you have relatives who live there and telling you about it, okay? And chances are they're not seeing it either. They're probably just hearing about it. And they might hear the odd jet fighter flying over, but they don't know if that's a Russian or one of their own. And so they're hearing about it from their corrupt media as well. Now, the Ukraine is an evil country, not the Ukrainian people. They're, just like anyone else. And that country has a great ancient history and culture. Going back, they were like a power at one time in the sort of like the late Middle Ages, early Renaissance. And they the government that runs that is the deep state. What Putin is attacking, and this is very important, don't big up Putin to be a hero either. He's only looking after his own interest. I'm already seeing truthers and people in the old scene already bigging up Putin as if he's a great guy. He's not doing it for you. It's the whole thing. My enemy's enemy is my friend. He's attacking the big state. The big state uses Ukraine as a big money laundering place. It's where a lot of banking systems are out of, and this kind of thing. And from the Biden family, that basically all their money is in Ukraine. That's where and the Clinton Foundation, the rest of them, that's where they all do their funny business. They have a big country in Eastern Europe that they can annoy. Now, you see that, what's it in Nancy Pelosi, that other thing, whatever that thing is. She's talking about the evil Russians attacking the Ukraine. Now, could you imagine if the shoe was on the other foot and the Russian mafia set up, and the Russian government set up Mexico as a place where they can do their funny business right next to the US border, put their weapons all along the border and point them at Texas and Dallas and Houston and San Antonio and California and Phoenix? Would it be the same thing? Absolutely would be the same thing. That's what's going on. That's all that's happening. The American end of the globalists, but to an extent the entire globalists, have set up Ukraine as basically a money laundering deep state operation. It's all in there, okay? And they're doing it to annoy and nag the Russians, okay? They want to do things like they want to eventually flood Russia with millions of African and Middle Eastern refugees. The way they do it is through countries that they can take over in Eastern Europe. They try to do it through Poland, Bulgaria, and Romania, and the Polish, the Bulgarians, and the Romanians are all stupid. So they didn't fall for that one. But if they can get a client state like Ukraine, they can do things like fly in African and Middle Eastern people into the Ukraine, and then feed them over the border into Russia. That's what they want to do. They don't see, because they think they've conflated nationalism with hatred. They don't understand that you can be nationalist and not be hateful. And so you have people responding to it in two ways. The average normie, semi-sentient, performing seal, pot-banging NPC spectrum types, they all think that Russia is doing this because it's evil and stuff like that, and they have no idea why they want to protect the Ukraine other than the evening news told them they should. And you have someone like Micheál Martin, but not exclusively, this goes on in all the Western countries, all the globalist states. Micheál Martin, the Prime Minister of Ireland, who stood up in the Irish Parliament a few years ago and said, we will have no more talk of backward nationalism. In the Parliament that people like Michael Collins gave their lives for to set up, the Prime Minister of Ireland, before he's Prime Minister, stood up in that Parliament and said, we will have no further talk of backward nationalism. And this guy who says we'll have no further talk of backward nationalism in Ireland is fighting and defending the borders and the sovereignty and the integrity of Ukraine. And that's the globalists for you. The globalists don't care about the borders and the sovereignty of their own nations. They only care about the borders and the sovereignty of the other nations. And so you create a situation. All this began with the Palestinian thing, by the way. Oh, I'm going to get them on here. How dare you say this Palestine? No, this all began the Palestinian thing. The Palestinian thing was designed. Now, I'm not saying this. I'm not getting involved in the Palestinian issue or the Israelis issue. That's their own business, okay? But I'm just saying to you that this obsession with Palestine in the West has been now been funneled into other whatever else they want to do. So you have it like, this is why you have like so-called Irish nationalists who carry Palestinian flags and won't carry an Irish flag. You know, this kind of thing, like this knuckle-scraping Celtic jersey Sinn Féin voters. They'll carry Palestinian flags but never an Irish flag. And they don't even support an Irish soccer team. Celtic are British. But that's what they're like. They're just brainwashed. They're just all parodies. They've been given a program, they slot into it, and they fulfill the programming. I am this because an opinion was given to me. I will conform in every aspect to this. That's why you go to any article or video about Sinn Féin and all you see are Celtic FC logos. That's all you fucking see. Why? I support Sinn Féin. I have to follow Celtic and I have to hate the English and I have to hate Protestants while saying, you know, I'm against sectarianism and also flooding Ireland with immigrants. That they're in favour of that, you know. That has always been that's the Sinn Féin motto, you know. Brits out, Muslims in. That's their motto. And I'm not knocking Muslims or anything like that. I'm just saying that's how they function. They are very heavily deep state globalist operation. Their voters are all absolute morons, okay? But that's what they want. That's what they want. Morons who have morons who have a passionate opinion about things they don't understand. They only have those opinions because they've been told to have them, and they slot into them and they take them over. Now, we have the same thing in the alt media as well. Automatically, people are sending me emails. Thomas, do you think it's going to be World War III? And I'm like, fuck off, no. Go away. There's not going to be World War III. World War III has been raging since 1945. It never ended. The Cold War was the beginning of World War III, and it's been raging ever since. And there's all sorts of changes. 1 minute, Russia's the good guy, the bad guy. China's the good guy, the bad guy. Our government spent the last 2 years, the Western government spent the last 2 years declaring war on their own citizens. And so they declared the citizens of their own countries the enemy. And they attacked them and imprisoned us and made us do all kinds of things, did medical experiments on us. That's amazing to think that, you know. Just think about that now. People, we grew up horrified that, can you believe that the Nazis got people in concentration camps and did medical experiments on them? Can you believe that people were imprisoned in ghettos against their will and are injected and put under medical experiments? Dear normies, if there's an ounce of sentient awareness inside those skulls of yours, can you not see how you're being played? Can you not see it? The same thing in the Ukraine. I don't give a fuck about the Ukrainian government because I know I see them for I know the scumbags that they are. I feel sorry for any Ukrainian soldier who has to die for those animals. And I feel sorry for any Ukrainian citizen. I even feel sorry for any Russian soldier who has to die removing them animals. Because that's what they are. The Ukrainian government is just animals. They're Bill Gates, Klaus Schwab, Tony Blair type scumbags. That's all they are. And they don't serve the Ukrainian people. They serve the globalist puppet masters who run them as a client state of the Clinton Foundation. That's all they do. And this is a waste of time, the whole thing. And Putin just wants to reestablish. Putin has made his move for one major reason. He wanted to see what Biden and the Democrats were made of. And as soon as Biden and the Democrats scarpered out of Afghanistan and left all those weapons and all that military hardware for the Al Qaeda and the rest of them, Taliban, whatever they're called now, whatever this week's rename is, he knew that Biden was ineffective and a coward. and he knew that I was surrounded by people who were more interested in woke. He made there's pictures of him saying, having speeches there, saying there's mental illness in the West. In the United States, they're teaching children that a man and a woman are, that men can have can be women and have babies and should have and a family is not a man and a woman and a child and children. And he says they're gone mad, they're gone insane, and he's absolutely right. But they're not really gone insane. It's cultural Marxism. The population has gone insane, of course, but it's the same thing as the Chinese Communist Revolution. The destruction of all that was. During the Chinese Communist Revolution, they went in and destroyed all the Chinese documents, artifacts, museums, ancient sites. They wanted a clean slate, and they used the same people, uneducated, hysterical, unhinged, easily controlled people. The same people have purple hair today and work as, diversity officers in Google. The same people. And they're doing it the same Bolsheviks are here again. Remember, if from socialist to national socialist to extreme commissar within the old Duma, Politburo, the old Politburo, every Marxist is a degree of a Bolshevik. Some are semi-benign Bolsheviks, others are extreme murderers, but all Bolsheviks. They can all be swung towards the extreme end of Bolshevism. They're all Trotskyites at the end of the day. Now, so they destroyed the past. Now you see that's happening to us all the time. You have people saying, well, look at all the historical dramas, what they put black people and Asians in the characters. Again, I'm not bothered by a black person playing Richard the Lionheart or a black woman playing, Mary Magdalene. I'm not bothered by any of that stuff. It's called acting for a reason. But those, and I don't blame those black actors for taking the work up. Good luck to them. I'd take the work that was given my way. But the people making these shows are all Bolsheviks. They're all Bolsheviks who are determined to erase Western culture. So, but what they do is, you see, in the alt media, they start picking on the actors. You see, we had a problem on the Beyond Room 313 group. We had to get rid of some people. Talking about the Lord of the Rings things immediately turned into a race thing. They started attacking black people. No. That's not who the issue lies with, the black actors or anything like that. The issue lies with the producers, who are all they'd be all different. They'd be mostly all Christians, but there'd be Jews and stuff in there. But they'd be like whites, Jewish, Christian, upper middle class, wealthy, lots of WASPs, lots of Anglo-Saxons, and they'll be all doing this. They're the ones all doing this. So you're not angry at them, but you make fun of black people who are. That's not the issue. Forget the actors who are in the shows; they're not the problem. The problem are the producers, the Bolsheviks in charge. Yourself. Netflix has been run by the Freud family. Bernays family. I mean, that's not even hidden. And the same. These people have always been tampering with us, and They always seem to be from German stock, Prussians, Frankfurt. They always seem to be from that part of the world. And I'm not putting against Germans. These people are aristocrats, Prussian aristocrats. They're not regular Germans. But it always seems to go back to that somehow, Hessians. But anyway, leave that aside. Don't be picking on the actors. The actors are it's not their fault. So there's a whole thing of the new Lord of the Rings things kicking off. Now, the Lord of the Rings thing, as I said to you, it just looks awful. It looks like a children's TV show. I mean, the whole portrayal of Galadriel is like, go girl, you go get them, girl. Laura Croft. She's cool, she's hot. Woo, give it up, Galadriel. Woo, bitch. That kind of thing. We're talking about a Virgin Mary type character. We're talking about a Virgin Mary spiritual entity that never carried swords and attacked people. It's unbelievable. But they have to write the standard Laura Croft, Wonder Woman female archetype into it. Not the fault of the actress. She needs a job and she's taking it. And the same, like the people they have, black people playing elves. It's rubbish, not for that reason. It's rubbish because it looks like rubbish. The scenes of the cities look like the Magic Kingdom at Disneyland in Florida. It looks awful, and the music sounded awful. It will be horrible. And I'm not one of these people. I'm not going to hold out hope and say it's good. It's just bad because soulless people are behind it. They're the ones, the producers, the co-writers, the people who finance it, all these people who want the bottom line and sell it and market it and produce it. They're all the ones you go after as individuals. and what they represent, Bolshevism. You don't go after the actors. The actors are innocent. That's why we threw those people off the group recently, because they were like going off. They were making fun of black people. It was awful, and just because it's not the black people's fault that they're being used for Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. That's not their fault. Again, I've no problem with them. It's called acting for a reason. It's called going into the role. It's called acting. And you suspend reality and deal with it. If you can't deal with it, the thing is that they've done it. They have destroyed Lord of the Rings for the sake of political correctness and the rainbow dollar. That's all they've done it for. And they have all these people advising them with purple hair, and that this is what young people are. They're into this today, and they're not. And they're not. And they took gaps. I mean, it's ridiculous what they've done. The more I read about it, the ironic thing is, in the southern part of Middle Earth, there were races down there that Tolkien referred to as dark skin. They could have easily written, roles for people from that part of the south of Middle Earth and brought them into it, and so told things from their side and their perspective. It could have been wonderful, actually. No, they did that. No. The elves were black. The elves, they were diverse hobbits. Stupid things. Like that, and all it does is cause trouble. But how to react to that this is what the theme of this video is: how to react. Don't blame the actors and don't blame their skin color. Blame the producers, the directors, the political system that creates them. Blame them. And ultimately it goes back to the globalists. Like I said, when a globalist says democracy, they mean globalism. When they say diversity, they mean destruction of national cultures. And that includes black culture as well, Chinese culture. They're going to destroy everything. They want a clean slate for their great reset and build back better. So they despise all culture. Don't kid yourself that they hate European or American culture and love Chinese or African culture. They hate that stuff as well. They want everything wiped down to a clean slate, and they want the Stepford culture. They want people like that all over the world. They don't care what colour they are, slang. Once they're all like morons looking at TV all the time, high on drugs, high on cannabis, and tablets, and just looking at TV and reacting to everything like this, like that, and not being able to think for themselves. That's so important. And alt media, I'm seeing them like, oh, is this going to be the end? Like Putin's going to be an end World War III. What are you on about? World War III was been raging since the World War II ended. Never stopped. Secondly, it's not going to be what you think it's going to be. The United States wouldn't stand a chance. And this is no disrespect to American service folks. I'm not putting you down. I'm just saying, because of your leadership, who've done the same thing with the US military that they've done with Lord of the Rings, i.e. globalized it, woke it, and you're walking around in high heels. They have like fellas walking around in high heels and recruitment ads with rainbow flags, and these people, this is and generals who say things like, I want to know about white privilege. Bullshit. Your job is to be a soldier, not to be a politician. But that all happened at Colin Powell. When they all moved into politics, that scumbag for the neocons. You see, that's the thing. There's not a left or right thing. I find the neocons just as repugnant as the liberals on both sides. There's no friends out there for us, and just yourself, or hopefully one day a benevolent dictatorship or something, or it'll never happen, but something like that. But yeah, you have to be very careful how you react to this stuff. My attitude is, okay, yesterday afternoon someone said, Thomas, what do you think we should do with this? It says, go do your hobbies. Go take the dog for a walk. Go watch a movie. Go to the pub. Have a pint. Don't be thinking about this shite. That's the number one reaction, okay? Because no matter how much energy you put into it, it will never change it. So where's that energy going? Out of your life energy and into the fuckers on TV. The CNN, Fox, BBC, RTE, ITV, CNN, CBC, Der Spiegel, Bild, fucking Deutsche Welle, TV5 France. Do they need, RAI in Italy do they need your energy any more than what you've given them? No. So you ignore them, okay? There's nothing, sharing videos of a woman screaming in the Ukraine because a missile hit near her house doesn't make anything any different. It doesn't make anything any different, okay? And they're all, that's the whole thing. And then trying to find things to debunk, that missile actually hit Syria, and here, 10 years ago. That's bullshit too. Save your life energy for yourself. All you have to know is that what's going on in the Ukraine is very simple. The deep state is worried about its money. And then you go, well, there you go. And is there going to be nukes falling on American or European cities? No. Is the European sanctions going to mean anything? No, because they buy all their gas off them. So that's nothing. So it's a big fucking nothing burger. Now, it's not a nothing burger to the people who are dying in Ukraine, in the combat. It's not nothing to them. But in terms of global schemes of things, it will change nothing. Your petrol prices and your gas prices will go up for a while. Your food prices will go up for a while. And then they'll stabilize and go down again. Just like every other war, it'll be a big hullabaloo in the media and then move on to the next thing. And they will change the squares and the flags and the colors and the hashtags, just like they did for Stay at Home, Save Lives, Stand with Ukraine. Next thing will be, I don't know, Save David Hasselhoff's penis. Love yous all. Sanguinosis. Take care. Learn how to react. Don't give these fuckers any more energy than they've already taken from you. Save it for yourself, build your charisma, and then enjoy your fucking life.
All right. Well, I see you guys, some of you agree and some of you disagree. Welcome to the stream, John McDermott, Cats26. Welcome to the Mr. Mission Control channel. Shy, however you pronounce that. I see you've made it back. Now, forgive me if I haven't subscribed to you guys. I had a little problem with my subscriptions last month, and they've straightened out. So I'll be getting on top of that pretty soon. Now, that's right, Joey. Ask her questions. That's right. That's what yep. Now, it's okay, guys. So, I mean, we all live within our own truth, right? Supergirl says he's a Freemason. You referring to Thomas Sheridan? Welcome to the stream, Supergirl. Joey recently, Esoteric Alchemist right there, recently got invited to a pretty prominent Canadian Freemason guild, and he's not of that mindset. Esoteric Alchemist there is my prized adept. I'm so glad I found him and saved him from the clutches of the hospital one night, and I believe maybe that was the only reason for us meeting. But the student teacher, and no, I've learned so much from him as well. Boy, I have gained so much out of first you listen to be a shoulder for somebody, as all through high school, junior high school, people came to me and because I presented myself as like a dark void. I dressed in black and I was the occultist, and people thought that they sink their feelings and emotions and problems into me. I would absorb that so well and feed back to them. Even if it was a day later, I'd come back with maybe a whole portfolio full of notes and stuff for them, read over, whatever, or a book for them to check out. Or maybe it was just me telling them what I thought. But Guys, I've been doing this a long time. I'm 40. I'm 44 in April 30th. As Dave Zed supposedly got the same birthday as me, but April 30th. If you guys know, I know a lot of you are experienced in the metaphysics and esotericism side of things. April 30th, yeah, that's my birthday. But I'm probably the most knowledgeful. I'm not letting ego get in my way now. We're gonna watch this Woodward episode about ego after I get done talking here, okay? Because having a certain type of egotism is healthy, but there's other types that aren't, okay? But let me clear this up. I've got probably more, let's just say, counseling experience or psychotherapy with some of the most disturbed, including myself, some of the most disturbed motherfuckers you guys would ever meet in your fucking life. Some of the most tweaked out or molested or abused, missing arms and legs, missing parts of their freaking brain, for God's sake. Plates in their head, war, PTSD, soldiers. I don't know how many veteran friends that I've got that are just, you do. If you say the wrong thing to those guys, they'll snap your fucking neck. It's obvious to anyone that knows. Hey, Morning Story, Leslie. Yeah, right, Joey. How do we know we didn't fuck up and get sent here? And we're here to, redeem ourselves. Well, like the message I put over to Dave, to Generation Z, was that I'm not gonna stand before whatever put me here after I'm dead, and wherever the fuck I go, wherever that is, whatever. I don't know. I don't know for sure. I'm saying I don't know. I have a pretty good idea, but how can we even say that we can perceive or uh, imagine what that might be, being without our body? I mean, literally, 3 years being dead and your body's decomposed. I'm not talking about fucking out of body experience you think you fucking had. That's your mind, motherfuckers. Your mind's still at play there. You didn't go outside your goddamn mind during an out of body experience, okay? I had to handle something real quick. But you didn't go outside your mind when you went out of body, you know? Come on. I mean, how can you relate? How can you relate an out of body experience? You're using your mind. You're using your brain. That's all physical. You cannot relate high frequency or ultra low frequency to other people without an interferometry. Okay, technology that measures those things, high and low frequencies, and puts it out on a display that shows you what, in a representation we can comprehend, like colors and lines and graphs and stuff and shapes and sounds, smells. I'm not reading chat here. You guys go ahead. I'll leave it up on the screen. But I'm telling you what I know. with the experiences of all the different families and people that I've installed carpet in their houses, from the richest of the rich here in Northwest Arkansas, Walmart headquarters territory, the vendors, the motherfuckers that pay the vendors, people in the Walton family, people that fucking run the Waltons, people that won't even tell you who they are. They're so fucking rich that you have to sign a fucking NDA to walk into their house, to put carpet around their fucking toilet. Okay? So don't fucking come to me with, I know this and I know that shit, because you don't know shit, man. I fucking put carpet tiles in the Walmart fucking mainframe. I just signed a fucking NDA for that shit. You know, there's things I've seen in there that I can't tell anybody about. Back to the thing. I've counseled and psychotherapized so many people, including myself, you know, every day, every fucking waking second. I question, you know, what right versus wrong. Why am I feeling this way? Why do other people confront me? And why do I got, 10 people sitting here listening to what I have to say? If not, what I have found others people say, and want to bring it forth and show you guys, or articles or anything. Hence me running a news site. It's not really, it never was a news site. It was Occupy the NSA page on Facebook. The government shut me down because we had Obama's ass. Then I turned it to public page. Those people that were posting there didn't want to be public. So then they took me down. Deep State Watchdogs never was meant to be a news site. It was a government oversight commission. Okay? The truckers are being used like they're being used in Canada to instill martial law. Yes. I put out the frequencies they could program their trucker horns with on couple posts on Deep State Watchdogs. Is in my community post. Y'all want to go find them? That's go right ahead. I gave them the tools they needed to they could shake Washington to the ground with their horns. Because all those trucker horns are all high tech now, that you can program whatever you could record from a frequency app on your phone. I just populated my let me show you all the Google Play Store what's possible. Okay. So the frequencies are all publicized. The PDFs are publicized on the research of the resident frequencies of granite. Okay. And then my research on the cellulitic DNA resonance to move people out your fucking way that get in the way, whoever that may be. If you're in a big truck or have 5 big trucks or 50, you circle Washington, you start putting them in there, man. I tell you what, they ain't gonna fuck with those truckers. But I don't think my information is going to get to them by tomorrow in time. And not enough of them would have the I don't know, maybe not the smarts to fucking get a frequency app and plug the frequencies in and then use their fucking horns. I don't know, but I would shit a brick if they fucking did. I really shit a brick if they come after me for fucking some sort of terroristic fucking publication. I like guys, you know who the fuck I am. Anyway. Okay, so we're going to check this out. Mm-hmm. These are all those fucking yeah, it's them. But see all these, all those, most of those are frequency generators. Okay, now this is BlueStacks up here. BlueStacks 5. Pretty much have to get BlueStacks 5 or BlueStacks 4 to get the Google Play Store apps. Okay. And the best one I found, I think I paid for, and it's, where is it at? This one, the function generator, that's a unique one. You need that one. Visual Math. Oh, you need that one if you're doing, and then that Physics Studio, yeah. Function that way, an RF analyzer. Tone generator, this one here. Tone Generator Pro. We're gonna do gematria just in a second. I want to show the complexity of this. So what you do is you can make music with the programmer mode, noise generator, sweep generator. There's a sweep function I published. Multi-tone generator though. You can have 16 channels and all this fade effects, the envelope, all this adjustment. It's hertz. It goes up to sample rate 48,000 hertz. So I don't know. Let's see how many. How high will it go? Frequency range 0 to 24,000 hertz. Okay, so this will do a 24,000 hertz. So this should cover everything I've got published. But basically, what it is here, this is going to do a sound like a 420 hertz is what. No, 4. And then you get your readout right there. You can 369 it. Oh, there's an ad. I paid for this. It shouldn't have ads. Phase 2, 3, 5, 7. 8. We're gonna go 0.618. We're gonna go 0.618. 618. 8, 2, 3. Is 3, 1, 4. Do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and you get
You must choose, Mr. Bond.
So anyway, I bought this dang app, so it should not have. Anyway, you get the point. It's all kinds of stuff you do, But this function generator, this is unique. In that guys, about lunchtime, we're gonna do a gematria. We're gonna do a gematria decode though. But here is your waveforms, your phases. This is channel 1, channel 2, and you can choose white, pink, your amplitude, your modulation of your FM or AM, your frequency, your amplitude, and then your slots. You have slot 1 to 10 with different all these full programs out, and then your volume here. You click that to turn it on. Your channels. Okay. And then you go to frequency, you go to bias, phase, duty, amplitude, white, amplitude, sine wave. Trying to get up with the burst here. Intervalue. All this stuff is so customizable, and you can just get jiggy with it, you know. Now they give us the tools. People don't realize the significance of living in a time like now where we have technology like this, that people don't realize that they can bring, you know, the walls of Jericho down pretty much with $1,000 worth of equipment or less. See, there's where your ego is, Leslie. I am completed in alignment. Now, let me finish that. I am completed in alignment and acclamation of origin state of being the creator consciousness. Do you have a certificate? Yeah. Did you graduate from alignment school? Because that's what they're gonna fucking ask you. I'm not asking. I'm just saying that the cops are gonna fucking ask you that. See, there they are, right there. Joey, Mr. Walker, who the hell are you talking to online? Do they know how to ascend out of this reality? Can they get out of the matrix? Well, we need to pick them up right away. We're sending a crew. We've got their location via your live stream. Protect your chakras. I'm just fucking with you, Leslie. I know. Come on now. I'm not fucking jealous. I'm just fucking I'm getting you guys to fucking to be fucking venomous and toxic. Y'all say you're so fucking perfectionist. You're clear as a fucking woodland brook, fueled by a mountain spring with fairies and fucking tadpoles live in it. You know, come on, get that out of your fucking head. Y'all ain't any fucking better than me, and I ain't any fucking better than none of y'all. But we are better than these motherfuckers that are trying to fucking kill us or suck our energy, you know, put us into a matrix fucking tube and harvest our electricity or whatever they're harvesting. We know they're doing this for a reason. Until you guys stop singing fucking kumbaya, putting flowers in your goddamn hair, okay? Take this life fucking serious, because I guarantee you, your kids or your relatives' kids, if you don't have fucking kids, you didn't choose to fucking reproduce in this life. Shame on you, ass. Shame on your ass. But if you know your relatives' kids or whoever the fuck you're blood tied to, those little kids, you know, I feel sorry for them because their parents are like Dave and that fucking English guy Johnny fucking fungi guy had on the other night. Oh, we're just gonna hold hands and walk into the fire. We need a lot of people to die for martyrism. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? You're telling me you want me to walk into the fucking machine gun fire so 1,000 other people could make it to fucking Washington, so they just sit there and fucking sing kumbaya and not do anything? Come on, man. Come on, man. You are high on fucking mushrooms, Johnny. Fungi. But hey, love and fucking vibrational frequencies didn't fucking win the war. And then again, who really won the war? The Nazis did, right? Guy had you all fooled, didn't they? Now they're trying to fool you into thinking Russia's the bad guy. Biden's got all his money in Ukraine, guys. You not remember the fucking past 4 fucking years of the Trump administration? They finally got into Trump's back pocket too. Okay? Exactly, Shy. Now you know who the fuck I am. And I'm not even going to do gematria. I'm going to leave it right there. I'm going to leave it right there. You guys got another thing fucking coming. If you don't stand up, buck up, arm up with anything you can, if it's not a metal detector, then it's these frequencies that I'm giving you right here via the posts that I've done. The research, Dan Winter research, all the other frequency research that I studied all my whole life. The psionics, the astral projection, the harvesting dragon energy. Okay, they're with us. We are not without our own power to do something, but it's not. Granted, we love each other. We love each other. Though we don't have to fucking repeat that to the enemy. And when the enemy sees us hugging each other, they think we're fucking weak. And that's exactly why we're in the situation we're fucking in right fucking now, guys. These goddamn hippies from the 70s made everybody think if you fucking take acid and kiss each other's asses, you'd be all right. Well, it's not all right to let a bunch of, it's not all right to go down, sing kumbaya, hold hands with a child molester and let them fuck your kid in the ass while you just go, it'll be fine tomorrow. What the fuck is that kid thinking? You know how many motherfuckers they sold off planet to come into the United States from all over the world seeking freedom and justice and help here, and our government, the fucking Archons took them into underground military bases and shipped them through portals off planet. They're gone. They're all fucking gone. And it's your fault because you didn't fucking do anything. Where's the love in that? You guys better wake the fuck up right fucking now. And if fucking Russia nukes us and it's all gone tomorrow, we'll good riddance. Bunch of motherfucking pussy motherfuckers. Have a nice fucking day. You let me know when you wake up and smell the fucking coffee. Everybody's against us. Everybody's against the awakening. You're not getting out of this fucking matrix without a fight. Leslie, Morning Story, Shy knows. Shy fucking knows. Joey knows. TR33, I think he smells it down the hallway. Supergirl fucking knows. We are not getting out of here without a fucking fight, guys. You understand me? There's going to be a lot of red shit flying around, flowing out of everybody. A lot of us aren't going to fucking make it. Half the country might be gone in a fucking flash, dude. You know the radius on a fucking thermonuclear warhead in 2022? In excess of 350 to 600 fucking mile radius. One fucking nuclear warhead. You guys are living in fantasy fucking Dragonland. Telling me I've got a fucking ego. Y'all have the fucking ego. Motherfucking can't see the forest for the motherfucking trees. Now you guys get those frequencies to the truckers before they bring out martial law in the United States. Because if they let martial law happen in the United States, they come around, they pick me fucking up. Y'all have lost fucking your savior. Y'all have lost fucking all hope. I don't think you realize who I am. None of you. And thank God the opposition and the powers that be can't rightly figure it out to put the right people on me to stop me. I can't fucking do anything about it. Y'all have a good fucking day. I'll talk to y'all later. I got some things I gotta do. So I'll be out of reach for a while. But you think about it. I'm uploading this to Rumble and BitChute. We're not getting out of here without a fight. And if you think you are, you're dead fucking wrong. You are way wrong. And if you think you're going to get up somewhere else, you're going to have to answer to something, the polarity shift or whatever, the great rift in space, seen the article about that today. A big gravity wave going through the universe, a million times bigger than the Milky Way. You guys don't know. You guys don't fucking have any fucking clue, man. No fucking clue. Leslie, you don't fucking know shit. Shut the fuck up. Y'all got ego problems. You think I got a fucking ego problem? I dealt with that a long time ago. It's y'all's reflection of your pompous bullshit. I don't know what kind of fight it's going to be. I don't know who exactly we're fighting. I don't know where exactly we're going when we die, or if we can step through a portal with our physical bodies and get out of here or leave it behind. I don't fucking know. All I know is that y'all seem to be, a lot of people are like getting behind Ukraine. Well, Biden's got all his money in Ukraine. Oh, now all of a sudden Biden's a good guy? Have we forgotten that these motherfuckers come at us with fucking hypodermic needles full of fucking nanoparticles? Have we forgotten they injected millions of children with fucking genetic alterations, probably extraterrestrial? Have we forgotten who these people are? They're not even people. Some of you might not even be people. Oh, I got balance all right because I can fucking shift. I'm bipolar, remember? I'm more balanced than the fucking teeter-totter. It's all an act, guys. Welcome to the greatest show on earth. Y'all fucking fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. Hook, line, and sinker. What's this? There we go. I got one for you. Algorithm showed me just what I was looking for. See, until you guys get the algorithm programmed, you here, sit through this.
There is something more supernatural on the drawing board at CERN than what is being admitted. Even Adam Barker of Tech Bubble wrote of CERN a while back that with the LHC, CERN are expecting to find other dimensions and open portals to these dimensions. If you have the image of Stargate in your head right now, you're spot on. That's what he said. And then he went on to draw parallels to the biblical story of Jacob's ladder. Perhaps you remember the dream that says, "Behold, there was a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God were ascending and descending on it." Then Jacob wakes up from his sleep and he says, "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it." And he was afraid. And he says, "How awesome is this place? This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven," Genesis 28. Now this ladder, described in the first book of the Bible, describes something like a portal from heaven to earth through which God's angels, interdimensional and spiritual beings from another reality, were traveling. When Jacob wakes up, he refers to the location as a gate, much like today's trendy terms gateway or Stargate. One of CERN's goals is to recreate Jacob's ladder, according to Barker, and to reopen a portal. Now, Sergio Bertolucci, who is the official director for research and scientific computing at CERN, he was asked a while back about this extra-dimensional doorway by The Register, which is a London and New York operated science and technology journal. And he didn't hesitate with an enlightening response. He said, "Yes, out of this door might come something, or we might send something through it." Now, prophecy in numerous parts of the Bible refer to a coming day when portals will be opened and spiritual entities are going to pass through and come to the earth. Now, if that's true, and if those verses are accepted for their literal meaning and not written off as some kind of poetic allegory, as some scholars have claimed, then the idea of CERN playing with gateways is a major concern.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
And if, as CERN claims, they're only out to explore space, time, matter, particles, and the origin of our known universe and planets from exclusively a scientific or Darwinian-related perspective, if their agenda is unrelated to Bible prophecy entirely, then what is it with all this mystical symbolism that they knowingly are associating themselves with? Wouldn't it be more appropriate for them just to proudly display a polished statue of a particle or some artist depiction of the Big Bang instead of the statue of Shiva? For those who have not yet heard about this controversial piece of art that CERN proudly exhibits between buildings 39 and 40 near the main building of their operation, it stands as really the most visible and celebrated imagery behind their work, Shiva. This is the Hindu god of destruction. In 2004, the government of India, which has had a long-standing friendship with leaders behind the CERN project even before the completion of the Large Hadron Collider, they gifted CERN with this bronze work of an art depicting Shiva as Nataraja, the lord or sometimes king of the dance. This dance that Shiva performs in the sculpture is the one that provides the source of the creation cycle in Hindu mythology, the preservation of all life in existence and the termination of all life in existence. The Rudra Tandava is a dance that especially displays Shiva's sadistic personality as he rains down the ultimate destruction upon a weary planet. The plaque at the side beside the statue, however, reads in part, "Hundreds of years ago, Indian artists created visual images of dancing Shivas in a beautiful series of bronzes. In our time, physicists have used the most advanced technology to portray the patterns of the cosmic dance. The metaphor of the cosmic dance thus unifies ancient mythology, religious art, and modern physics." So right there out in the open for all to see is a direct correlation between the Hindu perception of Shiva hundreds of years ago, which is the concept of destroyer that I explained a moment ago, and our time, unifying, quote, ancient mythology, religious art, and modern physics.
Something is going on.
You think everything's a conspiracy?
Everything is.
Additionally, and perhaps even more important, there's a significant section of CERN that is built upon the St. Genus Poili, which is a commune in Ain, a department of France. In Roman times, the St. Genus Poili was called Apaliacum, but the town and a temple were dedicated there in ancient times to Apollyon, the destroyer, the Shiva Horus, if you will. Apollyon is also the angel of the bottomless pit, referred to in Revelation 9:11. And then there is a connection between CERN and the Gothard Base Tunnel, the GBT, which is the world's deepest and longest tunnel system, consisting of two parallel passages, each moving in a single direction on a single track. The GBT passes directly beneath St. Gothard's Pass, a strategic north-south corridor that connects northern and southern Switzerland. The connection to the Large Hadron Collider has to be made primarily because of the bizarre opening ceremony that was live streamed to the entire world on June 1, 2016, that included this highly occult, demonic dance with characterization, beginning with a call to unite the religions of the world by conducting an interfaith blessing of the tunnel beside a statue of St. Barbara, the patron saint of miners. Following the blessing at the statue of St. Barbara, the press, along with visiting dignitaries, also paid tribute to the 9 miners who had lost their lives during construction of the tunnel. Bodillo's southern portal provided the visiting dignitaries a disturbing parade, really, of miners, erotic dancers, zombies, fallen angels, all of whom were obeying the call of what they called the shepherd, whose yodels invoked the appearance of the event's infernal master of ceremonies, a goat man, portrayed by a young and energetic dancing male. This creature is shown with a Baphomet headdress, a goat demon's head, if you will, and a goat body costume with a hairy pelt, and then it had a formal tuxedo over the top. The imagery was heavily evocative of the German and Bavarian Christmas demon known as Krampus. Now, according to tradition, Krampus accompanies St. Nicholas on his midwinter rounds with the intent to steal boys and girls, putting them into a basket carried on his back, or he may decide to beat them with branches for being naughty. Maurice Bruce published a book on pre-Christian Alpine traditions in 1958, and he had this to say about the half-goat, half-demon entity. There seems to be little doubt as to the true identity, for in no other form is the full regalia of the horned god of the witches so well preserved. The birch, apart from its phallic significance, may have a connection with the initiation rites of certain witch covens, rites which entailed binding and scourging as a form of mock death. The chains could have been introduced in a Christian attempt to bind the devil, but again, they could be a remnant of pagan initiation rites. Many show the goat man in formal dress and a tuxedo-style cutaway formal coat and trousers, but with his usual horned goat face and always with his tongue extended. Now, this tongue out pose seems to be popular with ancient gods, whether they're Mayan, Hindu, Babylonian, Egyptian, Greek, or even British. For some reason, the coat of arms from the Prince of Wales supports both a lion and a unicorn with their tongues extended, for instance. More than likely, this tongue position represents sex magic, fornicating with fallen angels. The ancient symbol of the horned god, referenced by Maureen Bruce in the quote that I made a moment ago, it allows us to connect our goat demon from the opening ceremony at the GBT to CERN. Despite the fact that the Large Hadron Collider sits 3 to 4 hours down a twisty road from the location, the horned god's circular logic and passion for human depravity, Cernunnos, as is sometimes called, or Cernunnos, or the Green Man of British lore, simply had to make an appearance at this occult ceremony. Josh Peck and I and many other researchers have written extensively regarding the in-game plans for tunneling beneath the earth and smashing atoms to smithereens as nothing more than a thinly veiled attempt to open portals. But the opening ceremony at Gotthard made it clear that these portals are intended to do something else, and that is to release demonic entities. The twin tunnels of the Gotthard base tunnel commence with twin portals on a single track. These northward and southward journeys symbolize the death, birth, death cycle of the Green Man, who dies in the fall and winter and rises in the spring, summer. The tunnel ceremony was all about sex rites and rebirth, leading to a new world order that's a complete reversal of the Judeo-Christian design. This included the triple goddess and the horned god, along with human sacrifice and a return to pagan worship, all of which lie at the center of this nauseating ritual play, which you can probably still watch on YouTube. Dancers dressed as miners climbed this rock face, and they dug into the earth, so to speak, to unveil what was beneath the earth, a great machine formed from human arms that rotated and churned into various shapes and design, many of which resembled the Large Hadron Collider at CERN. Once this opening was achieved, the miners stripped off their orange jumpsuit attire and took up arms. That is, they used staves to perform a dance routine that looked like warfare. It was this forensic dance that aroused a giant. So clearly, the endeavor connected to CERN is far more than Switzerland's braggadocio about an engineering feat. The connection between CERN and ritualistic summoning of a sleeping giant, the horned god of ᚻᛇᚴᛒ, or even Melkart, both are types of the rising dying god, and Melkart slept for half the year, which may be why Elijah told the priests of Baal to call louder, because he might be sleeping. Of course, I can only speculate, but I note the connection between Nimrod, Apollo, and Abaddon, Apollyon at CERN, and the history of the region are all highly curious. Apollo was worshipped by the Romans of that area, as well as the Greeks and in central France. Apollo was equated with the Celtic god Atep Omerus. These two characters were combined to create Apollo Atep Omerus, which can be translated as great horseman or possessing a great horse. In the Celtic belief, horses were closely related to the sun. The interesting thing to note is the connection between this idea of Apollo being associated with horses in France, where part of the LHC and CERN resides, and what the book of Revelation states about Abaddon, where it says, "And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle, and on their heads were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men, and they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon." End quote. I also note that Revelation chapter 9, after describing how these devil worshippers will be judged during the Great Tribulation period, it ends in verse 21 saying, "Neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries," which is the Greek pharmakia, "nor of their fornication, nor of their thefts." Now, pharmakia is the word that describes the ancient occultic effort to use mind-expanding drugs during rituals in order to open a doorway for making contact with unseen supernatural entities. So, given these descriptions, is it possible that CERN will have something to do with the opening of the bottomless pit described in Revelation 9?
right, we're gonna see. No, you guys don't want to see that. We're just gonna go straight to. And I'll drop the link to this. Yeah.
She's already here.
hältst du aus? Wie du um Luft ringst. Wie du untergehst. Was ist dein Limit? Wie viel hältst du aus? Wie du um Luft ringst. You make me
Mm. I gotta check something. I'm streaming right now. I mean, yeah, I'm going to look at the mud flood buildings in Ukraine and all the photos. Well, it appears all the photos of mud flood buildings. Leslie and Joey are talking in China. Three people. Mud flood buildings in Ukraine. Mhm. I got hawks in my backyard. They're wanting to wipe out the rest of the mud flood buildings. This is the last vestige of the uh, construction. What do we call it? The architecture. Fuck off, Teresa. No. I guess yeah, they're buried too. So yeah. Sorry. Yeah, the mud flood periods. Yeah. No. You misunderstand. They had the technology then. They were using electricity of some form, and a frequency was attained, and it created mud to come up all around the world, and it flooded everything. It happened at the liquefaction, and it happened. It happened like 4 times that we know about, pretty much, maybe more. I said worldwide. Yes, there was. There was. I'm not fucking thinking. There was. That's possible. The Nibiru system come through, but the time frames are not every so many 100,000 years like that. They're very close time frames, like every 400 years. 200. Beetlejuice? I don't know. Beetlejuice is a star. I don't know if Beetlejuice is in our galaxy. Yeah, Beetlejuice is in our galaxy. I didn't say sound. I didn't say sound frequency. I didn't say sound frequency. It could be partially audio of vibratory. I said frequency. They want to get rid of all this architecture. Mud flood buildings. Well, most of them are churches and monasteries and ship temples. There's your Roman pillars right there, and your Turkish dome, and your fucking pyramid. I found it. I found it. Yeah, yeah. Now that looks like an observatory or a energy collection room. Look at that. No wonder Russia wants Ukraine back. It's full of fucking treasures. Fuck. So, Iraq wanted Kuwait. Yeah, because of the archaeological significance of it. Look at that. Yeah. Why? I'm not watching. I'm doing a live stream. I'm looking at your. I want to look for pyramids, but I don't know exactly which part to look in. Probably down the test. Yeah. There we go. I told you, motherfuckers. Found one. Found one. Shiroki. Fucking old pyramid mound. I told you. I told you guys. My dad showed me pictures when I was a kid of these fucking Ukrainian fucking pyramids, man. I just don't know where they're all at. I'm looking on Google Earth. That looked like graves to you. What is that, guys? They're excavating there. Excavations there. See? I'm finding stuff. I just scroll like this. See, guys, see these ruins? See these ruins that are all around these mounds? These are all pyramids, old ancient pyramid mounds. Ruin structure. Well, I can't fucking read. Damn. Those are ruins. Those are ruins. Big giant fucking castles. See, the Russians want this shit because they're doing government excavations in they've been doing government excavations. See these holes? Those are all, yeah, see these dig holes? They're digging shit up there. And they find with the new LiDAR. No, it's private government excavations. They're not making it. They're not making it public. And they found something, and they don't. And the Russians fucking want it. And we have a bid in it because Biden, all Biden's money's fucking tied up in Ukraine. I know what I need to do. I need my top. Yeah.
Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So today we are going to delve into the future a little bit and different technologies. The other technologies I mentioned the other day. In a recent video, we were talking about how things might progress. And I said that there were other technologies that were available that weren't available in the 80s, 70s, and 60s. And I said that and it didn't go into it, so questions, of course, came in. So in lieu of going nuclear, there are other things that near-peer nations can do. Now, I'm not going to get too far into the kinetic options because there's a whole bunch of them. But even those are less likely than the thing we're going to kind of dive into, because the ability to target the opposition's command and control with non-nuclear weapons, all of the countries, China, Russia, the United States, they all have. The thing is, they're not super likely to use them, because if you are somebody who can make the decision to target the opposition's command and control at home, you're the person they're going to respond against, because you're part of your country's command and control. Out of self-preservation, odds are that's going to be less likely to be used. Because if you do that, there will be reciprocity, there will be a response, and it's going to be directed at you as an individual. So even though there are a whole bunch of other kinetic options, missiles, they're less likely than what we're going to dive into, which is cyber warfare. If Russia felt threatened, in an attempt to turn the tide, it might engage in widespread cyber attacks on the United States. Now again, this is, to go back to our first scenario, this is at the point where Russia is beginning to feel threatened that it is going to lose control and lose territory or lose completely. Okay? And at that point, it might go all out with a cyber attack. Now, to my knowledge, no country has the Holy Grail yet. The Holy Grail of cyber warfare is the ability to turn off your opposition's infrastructure and then turn it back on when you want to. As far as I know, nobody's achieved that. That's what most of the programs are trying to get to, but nobody's really been able to do it yet. However, all three countries do have the ability to disrupt the other side. They can shut it off, but they end up doing it in a way that doesn't allow them to turn it back on easily. So that is probably far, far, far more likely than any kind of strategic weapon, so with nuclear weapons. Now, what would that look like? Think about the pipeline that got shut down. That's what it would look like. It'd be incredibly disruptive, but not really destructive. It would be designed more to get the civilian populace of whatever the country is that's being hit to put pressure on their government to stop the war. That would be the point. I see that as just way more likely in the chain of events that would escalate than anything else, because that's something that doesn't necessarily require a massive response the way a lot of the kinetic options do. This is something that could be done almost as a signal of, okay, we really need to talk, rather than something that is guaranteed to escalate it. So I think that would be your most likely option. Now there are tons of kinetic options out there, but I see them as less likely. Now this is new ground. We don't know that for sure, but just human nature wise, it seems that before any of the other dramatic stuff would ever even be considered, the cyber options would be used. They would be uncomfortable. It's disruptive. It's annoying. But it's nowhere near as destructive. In some ways, our ability to disrupt infrastructure without destroying it makes things a little bit safer for everybody involved if things were to escalate to that point, which again, I don't see that as incredibly likely. So anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.
It is. You said it actually in your question. It's not entirely clear if Mr. Putin has designs beyond Ukraine, and it's because that's not perfectly clear that we continue to look for ways to bolster our NATO capabilities and to reassure our allies.
Basically, punishments.
One of the reasons we're doing this is because we want to make it clear to him that we will defend every inch of NATO territory. I'm sorry, Paul, go ahead.
War. John, just one follow-up. Is there any concern that this could grow into a regional war?
I think there's no reason for it to be a war now, Tara, and it shouldn't have been. Mr. Putin had diplomatic options on the table that he decided to ignore and to invade Ukraine regardless. So there should be no reason why there's a war now. There is obviously one. Clearly, that's evident. We need to make sure, and we will make sure, that it's very clear that we're going to defend every inch of NATO territory. I'm not going to speculate about what the future holds because it is not perfectly clear where Mr. Putin is going here. We want to make it clear that he will not be able to threaten in any tangible way our NATO allies. Okay, Paul, let's try it again.
All right, third time's a charm. Thanks. You said we're going to continue to supply defensive weapons to Ukraine. Is there any consideration of training Ukrainian troops outside of the country for them to then go back in and fight?
I think we're looking at all kinds of different ways to continue supporting Ukrainian armed forces, and we're not taking anything off the table.
You guys hear that shit?
How that might manifest itself going forward, and that could include. Did
you guys hear that submarine blip on that video? That must have been Lee Wahlberger's audio. That was weird. I'm going to take a look at Wendy real quick. Some kind of anomaly off the East Coast. Looks really spooky. Chicken satellite. Oh, wow. Okay, well, I want to show you guys something before we go here. All right, see that?
Hey, Nick, lunch is ready. Can we go ahead and eat?
That was my mom. Look at yeah, I'm wrapping it up here. You see that? You see that? That is the biggest. my son's buddies here. They got a train show to do here in Bentonville tomorrow. A train show, model train show. Look at this little thing here coming up off the. Oh, well, we get some more weather Friday next week. This time, that system moves through bad one in my area. That Sunday moves east. So next weekend, looks like we've got a nice week ahead of us, guys. Manifest what you can while we can, and that's all we can do. So right, Leslie, right, she Iders December 2025 first plasma. Yeah, that's the real concerning. I mean, if we're here still at that time, you know what I mean? If they don't, I think what's going on is just a bunch of fear mongering, you know, because they're all in it together. I mean, you heard Thomas Sheridan, and you know, but take into consideration the only country that did not utilize the nanoparticle technology in the roll up your sleevers in the shots was Russia. They used conventional vaccines. So I mean, you kind of think about who's really the good guys and who's really the bad guys here, to who's in control of our governments. And don't get me wrong, Leslie, Shy, you know, it doesn't matter to entities like us. It really doesn't fucking matter, because we can check out of here any goddamn time we want to, you know. Portal or no portal doesn't make a fuck to us. You know that, don't you? So, well, thanks for being part of the show today, guys. I really appreciate it. And you know, welcome to the greatest show on earth. I enjoy the ride. I like roller coasters, even though one threw my back out at Silver Dollar City one year. You know, I want to enjoy life. You know, I enjoy every little puff of a cigarette I get, or if I get to smoke a joint. You know, I don't abuse the shit anymore. If the power goes out, there will be a lot of people. Yeah, you don't need technology. No. See, no. Now, I didn't have a smartphone up until 2000. What was it? 2017. I had a flip phone, and I only played video games on computers. I wasn't into quantum physics and all that stuff. I was a metaphysician. I was a light worker. I was into the occult and everything. Knew a lot of stuff, but the past 2 years, I've learned so much about the nature of reality and perception, and I had always suspected these things to be self-evident, and you know what, but it's really telling when you can manifest things. You know, you really think, you really question, like, am I the divine spark? And yeah, you are. You know, it's all of us. It's all of us. But I'm not going to stand by and let these motherfuckers come up and down my fucking road and abuse my people, my neighbors, my family. That ain't going to happen, guys. What's happening in Ukraine, over my dead body, I'll be dead and buried if that shit happens here. I'll or check the fuck out. Escape route time. Pull the ejection fucking levers. We're getting the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? That they can have it. They can fucking have it. They can fucking have it. But you just wait and see how I fucking leave it for them.